make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Hi everyone, we're back and I am here with Christy Chadwick, who I wanted to bring on to talk about you're supporting couples through conflict resolution, finding resolution. And I loved your emphasis on making amends and how important that was, Christy. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Of course. Now, can we talk first about why your emphasis on finding amends, and you were like, that is probably the most important piece. Is that something that a lot of couples forget to do?
I think so. Yes. It's a difficult thing to do, right? To sort of forgive and admit some of our wrongdoings and our mistakes, and to come to some sort of resolution, as well as this repair time and make amends so that we can move on and move forward. Yeah.
Is it like, are you finding that people don't realize kind of that there are steps to all of it, and it's not just like a forgive and forget kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so. My Siri is talking to us now.
That just happened to our guest this morning. Yeah.
That's so funny. So yeah, I think it is a little bit about the steps that need to be taken in order to slow the process down from argument, fine, we're done, let's move on. It's actually, let's take a moment to debrief and maybe reflect on things that we've learned in this sort of scuffle and about ourselves, and then see where we want to go from here. And then maybe we don't repeat it, or if we do, we work on a different layer of it, or, it's sometimes they're bound to repeat anyway. So it's not that amends is about like, it won't ever happen again. It's just that it's about kind of finding some common ground and some understanding with each other and respect for each other too.
How did you get into this work?
Well, I think I've always been very fascinated by relationships and how we relate and connect with other people. We can only do so much for ourselves in terms of healing and understanding, but it's when we're in connection and in relationship and in conversation with other people that we start to really understand and learn about ourselves, kind of put it into practice. So it just fascinated me for a long time. And then I went to school for marriage and family therapy and became a therapist. And now I get to work with couples every day. It's very fun.
Do you work with individuals too, or do you mostly do couples?
I do both. Yeah, I work with individuals and I work with couples. So I think couples have just been something that I focus on primarily. But yeah, I definitely work with individuals as well.
As you're working with people, can you talk about some of the common issues that you're seeing are coming up repeatedly?
Yeah, communication seems to be the biggest thing people come in to talk about. Like, we're not communicating effectively, he's saying this, she's saying that, we're not on the same page. That seems to be a biggie. And also sometimes there's ideas that they come in with around differing values, differing beliefs, differing backgrounds and ideologies. And so that can cause a little bit of misunderstandings and not quite in respect for each other as well, of like that they have different viewpoints or different perspectives. So that tends to play into it.
Are you, now that you say like different viewpoints, different perspectives, are you sometimes surprised that stuff like that isn't talked about like in the early stages of a relationship, that suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you believed X, Y, and Z, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the early stages, it's almost like there's some fancy goggles that we have on and we just think, wow, they're just so wonderful. Whatever they have to bring is so great. And it tends to be that I find that couples fall in love with a thing, and then later that thing becomes this sort of nuisance. So it's fascinating to sort of watch this progression of they have a different understanding of it in the beginning of a relationship, and then it kind of can progress and change and mold into different things. Plus, we change and grow as individuals, so it could perhaps impact their perspective shifts as we grow and change. And it is surprising, though, that there's sometimes this aha moment, I guess, or this moment of, oh, your family's like this, so you're like this, and I'm like this because I grew up like this. Oh, how did that happen?
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the couples that come to you, are they always like, I don't want to say like in crisis, but has something happened, or do you also work with people kind of preventatively?
Mhm. I really would like to do the preventative more. That's why I like this program of like working with couples to prepare and enrich them towards
Mm,
a more solid foundation in their relationship. However, I think that many people do come into a counseling situation because something has happened or because they are sort of at their wits end of, I can't communicate with them. They're not communicating with me. We need to figure this out, which is fine too, that they come in with those scenarios or those issues that and challenges that are kind of preventing them from moving forward into a different direction. And so they're kind of at like a stalemate or a stuck point that they want to sort through. And that's okay too, to get into that. Yeah.
do you have, I don't want to say advice, but maybe like some tricks or tools for people to use kind of in their everyday lives as couples?
Mhm. One of the big ones that I like to offer couples is communication, compassionate communication, since that's one of the biggest challenges. And oftentimes, when there's a heightened situation, we go towards this idea of who's right, this game of I'm right, you're wrong.
Mm,
I'm going to analyze what's happening, and then I'm going to make a demand about what I need because of what I'm thinking. And the process is actually to slow that down, take a pause, notice the stimulus that's causing this sort of reaction, and connect with one another. So we connect, we feel it out, we decide kind of what we need as an individual, and we ask for that, and we make requests rather than a demand of what should happen. We sort of ask if this is an option or if there's a way to brainstorm through how to create a more easeful communication platform, I guess is maybe one way to say it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you love about the work that you do?
Mm. I really love this process of working with couples in general, of just seeing them sort of talk to each other, talk or with each other, about each other, kind of start to have these epiphanies and draw in some more like affirming about their relationship. And then, of course, like towards the end of sessions with them, I just love to hear that they came through a transformation of, we were almost going to divorce and we were ready to be done, and now we're not. Like, I couldn't even imagine trying to separate from this person, and I'm ready to go forward. And even sometimes it can end up in more clarity of, okay, this person's not the right person for me, and I'm okay with that. And now I'm ready to move on to something different. But it's just sort of the sense of like clarity and ease that couples get from the process, which is lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of work on your end and a lot of emotion coming at you, but I'm sure it must feel so good to be able to help facilitate stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel honored and privileged every time I work with an individual, a couple, of just like hearing their deepest, darkest lives.
Yeah. Yeah, and building that trust with someone, right? Like it's like they're opening up such private parts of their lives to a stranger, and to be able to hold space for that is so special that you get to do that.
Yeah, it really is. I really love it.
Where can people connect with you and follow you and work with you? Where do they find you?
Yeah, my website's a great spot to start, ChristyChadwick.com. And that's also where you can sign up for this workshop at the resources page. There's an event in there, and you can sign up for the workshop. I'm also on Instagram at Inward Motion Essentials. So, yeah.
We'll put all the links in the notes and in the comments. What do you want people to take away from this interview and from what you have to say?
Yeah, that it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to get some support. Individuals and couples are not alone in their processing of deep stuff, surface stuff, common issues, things that they think are not common that are common.
Right.
You're not alone, and to reach out for some support is courageous and worthwhile.
Yeah, if you're going through something, you're probably not the only one that's ever gone through it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Christy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much, and I thank you for all the work you're doing and all the help you're giving people.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Sure. ChristyChadwick.com is her website. We'll be right back after this, everyone.
In this world of innovation, would you rather have an old, outdated flip phone or a brand new iPhone? A horse and buggy carriage or the newest luxury hybrid? A dial-up router with your AOL account or a super fast Wi-Fi hotspot? With nutrition, what you have been using or taking up until now hasn't been bad. There's just something newer. We all appreciate advancements in science and technology. In the same way we seek the best and newest in our electronics, vehicles, and everyday conveniences, wouldn't you also want the best technology and newest innovation for your nutrition and supplementation? At the time, you may have had the best from what was out there and available. Now, there is something better and newer, more bioavailable, more convenient, better tasting, faster acting. It literally is the equivalent to getting an IV full of high-tech nutrients right into your bloodstream, without the needle, without the appointment, without being attached to anything for a specific length of time. Simply pop these tasty, all-natural lozenges into your mouth and savor as they instantly start to absorb into your bloodstream through your mucous membranes. That's it. And with the added benefit of negative ions, in other words, energy, there isn't anything else out there on the market like it. Now is the time to switch to the next improvement and innovation in health and nutrition. It's time for advancement. It's time for better. It's time for APL Go and our rapid botanical DNA drops.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We have a really good show again tomorrow, so please tune in for that at the same time you tuned in today, wherever you tuned in. And I hope you like, subscribe, follow, share, all of that fun stuff. If you'd like to support the show and buy me a coffee, go to buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher and support the show that way. They're like $5 donations, which actually do a lot around here to make this show better every single day. So I thank everybody who has done that. You'll see them in the credits of the show in just a minute. You know how like on other TV shows when they're in the studio and they like run over to another studio of a show. Have you ever seen that? Like, you know, the Tonight Show will run over into the studio of Wheel of Fortune or whatever's happening. So it's kind of the same way here in StreamYard, which is the program we use. Like other people use this account to record shows. And one of them is Stacey Andon, who's been on the show, who I produce her podcast and edit her podcast. But she's in another recording studio right now filming. And I wish we could like pop in there and surprise her, but we can't film this in her studio. But Stacey, we're recording at the same time. But that's it. I just think it would be so fun if you could kind of do two things at once in those recording studios, because to go see what she's doing and say hi. It'd be like stopping in on The Young and the Restless back in the day. Okay, if you want to be on the show, if you want to be a guest, if you'd like to advertise your business or your adventure on the show, send an email to makeyourdayricher@gmail.com. Tell us how you're making the world a better place, and we will get you all set up for that. Okay, well, I don't have a lot other than my dad's here, and so I'm going to go hang out with him, all right? He's here visiting from Wisconsin, and we will see you tomorrow. An all new show. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.